Hello guys, Crispy here, welcome back to another video. In this one, my friends, I'm gonna be testing a GeForce GTX 1066GB model in Dying Light the Beast. This is actually the minimum requirements GPU for this game, so it's gonna be interesting to see how it handles it. And this is also the MSI Gaming X version of the card. I'm running it with the latest Nvidia drivers, and I'm not manually overclocking it. You can see all of its specs here in Tech Power-Ups GPU Z, and over on the left, I'm pairing it with the i5 12600KF CPU overclocked to 5.1 GHz to avoid CPU bottlenecks, and 32 GB of RAM DDR5. Let's get into it, shall we? Okay guys, let's go for the settings first. I am starting at 1080p resolution here, utilizing TAAU on native, so this is native 1080p, and over on the advanced settings, I'm using the very low settings preset, but I did adjust this option right here. The embryo occlusion was set to low on the preset. It actually sets it to very low right there, but I have disabled, so these are the full-on lowest settings in the game. And yes, texture quality and these two don't go lower than medium. So let's apply that and let's try to play the game like this. And I said try to play the game like this because, well, it's not going to be a very enjoyable experience, right? It's 20-ish frames per second. It has a ton of stuttering here as well in this city area. Actually, guys, during this video, I will find that locking the FPS or enabling FSR FG will fix all of the stuttering issues. So that is a very easy fix that you can do inside of the menu of this game. I'll complain a lot about the stuttering, but we'll find it in this video. We'll find the fixes and so on, and I'll be happy about it in the end. Yeah, just stay tuned in. I'm gonna play this through the mission and so on, and it's gonna be fun, and hope you enjoy the video. But yeah, if I start counting our FPS, you can clearly see like 12 FPS, 1% lows, possibly even lower than that sometimes, because sometimes you see literal freezes. Yeah, it is terrible. It is absolutely insane and unacceptable, and I don't know who was trying the game out for quality control or whatever, like optimization here, but maybe they just played the first part of the game and called it a day and optimized that, and now here in the city is just really bad. Anyway, let's stop it right there. It's a GTX 1060 as well. You might think that the stutters are because it's a GTX 1060 once again, but I tried the RTX 4060, the most popular GPU on Steam at the moment, and it was exactly the same. Maybe a little bit less stuttering, but maybe it's because the FPS were also higher. Now, I'm gonna try FSR native to see if it helps a little bit, because usually FSR native is a little bit less intensive than a TSR or a TAAU actually, but it seems to be slightly more intensive. Okay, so instead of seeing like 27 there in the menu when I applied the settings, we dropped to 25. That's quite a big reduction when we're talking about 20-ish frames per second, actually. It's around 20% or 15%. So, yeah, we're gonna go back to TAAU, but the thing is, on the very low settings preset, this actually is set to performance. So I think the minimum requirements are a bit on the low end. Like, you shouldn't set the minimum requirements for 540p resolution. Like, performance TAAU at 1080p is 540p. But I'm gonna try it on quality for 720p internal resolution and upscaling to 1080p. It actually looks really good, not gonna lie, like the TAAU implementation in this game is pretty decent. It is soft though, but I don't really care. It's a GTX 1060, it's a 9-year-old GPU at this point. If you're playing games on it, I don't think you'll mind having 30-ish FPS with 720p resolution and a little bit of blurry graphics. Now, I'm doing this mission right here. You can probably hear a ton of screaming and shots, and probably me dying in just a little bit when these guys reach me, but yeah, not gonna happen. But yeah, this should be a very interesting mission right here. So let's go inside of the church. Inside of the church, obviously. Oh my god, just hear that, dude. That's insane. And everything went quiet now. So we got a lot of zombies here. Oh boy. Oh boy. Alright, let's keep on going here. I'm fine. They're just sleeping. Everything is okay. Alright, so I need to reach that area. There's a zombie over there. Please don't look at me. We're good? Yes? We are good. At least they don't see the light, so that's great. I mean, they probably have already seen the light when they died. Alright, a little cutscene right here. What's going on? Oh, man. All these... Oh, the guy's alive, okay. Oh, boy! Okay, whoa! That's it. That's the beast right there. Alright. And he made a ton of noise, so probably there are a lot of zombies. Yep, incoming. How do I climb all of this? All right, wait a second. Over here. Okay. I'm fine. Maybe there. No. Okay. Not fine. I'm not fine. God damn it! Get out of here. Let's go. All right, I'm good though. I think. Yeah, we can just stay here and kill all of the zombies. Actually, right? Let's go. Nice. Oh, I'm a beast, dude. Oh, no! Why did you jump there? What the heck, dude? I was just pressing W for a second and I stopped and he kept going. Anyway, I think we're good, right? Yeah, there's one more there. But how do I go upstairs? Okay, there we go. Upstairs. No, not upstairs, because there are no stairs. So what now? Maybe I'll need to swing from that to over there, I guess? There's nothing here, right? There's this ladder. Drop it down. Alright, easier access. If we fall, we can't go in this direction. So yeah, I'm guessing we need to go here. Alright, we need to grab this rope and jump over there. Okay, very nice, very nice. We're doing this, guys. We're doing this. Seems like the 1060 is playable here. I actually played a little bit of nighttime with the GTX 1060 here before we started recording today because, well, I wanted it to be daytime here for the recording so we can see something, right? Because during the night things are super dark. And yeah, during the daytime it's actually pretty good, as you can see. Really nice, 30-ish frames per second. Sun is bright and shining. Okay, space. I'm pressing space. Oh, man. Okay, alright, there we go. That was scary, actually. I thought I was gonna fall there. And now that we're outside, we need to load more things in the city. And it starts stuttering a lot, as you can see, guys. Again, the game is a bit broken in this area, unfortunately. It's a real shame. Because I thought this was the one game that was going to be buttery smooth all of the time. And really well optimized, and apparently it really isn't. Best optimized game of the year so far is definitely Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, I guess. What is this symbol here? What am I... Oh! Okay. We gotta go here. Oh, man. Oh, these screams, dude. Hello. Let me just pass by, please. Thank you. I don't even care. Oh, my God, that's a big one. All right, I'm just gonna strangle him. Okay. Good stuff. And now I guess we need to fight these bastards. Yes, punch them! Punch them all! Okay. Big stutter fest, by the way, when you're punching them bastards. And once again, I know what a lot of you will say. It's GTX 1060, what were you expecting? But again, it happens with a 4060 as well, which is a modern GPU and also the most utilized on Steam. So, come on. Oh, man. Come on. Stop that. Oh, no. I didn't want to switch to the pistol. Okay, damn it. Wasting ammo. Alright, let's search these guys. They got old world money. What is that useful for these days? I don't know. Buying a GPU, maybe? Would you buy a GPU in a zombie apocalypse? Probably not. You would just find a PC and grab it and maybe play some older games and escape from reality a little bit. And you know what? That sounds very familiar. Playing games to escape reality. Yeah. Let's see where this leads. Oh my god, look at the stuttering. It's just so unbearable. Oh my. You know what? I haven't tried locking the FPS. I'm gonna set it to 30 frames. Let's see if it eases the stuttering out. Okay, so, ooh, I'm a beast now. Hell yes. Hell yes. Goodbye, peoples. Goodbye. It seems like, yeah, locking the FPS does fix Door inaccessible in beast mode. I can still kill the bastard. There we go. Yeah, locking the FPS does seem to solve the stuttering entirely. That is really weird. But hey guys, this makes it a lot more playable. Can you stop being a beast, please? Thank you. This makes it a lot more playable. I prefer 30 FPS. Yeah, it's way too choppy now, but I prefer flat 30 than that stutter fest that we were seeing every single time we hit someone. So, alright, it seems like we fixed the game. I think I will pin a comment down in the RTX 4060 video, because people need to know, yeah, this is pretty damn smooth, right? Well, in terms of frame time graph, right? It's not smooth in terms of the visuals because it's 30 FPS. Now, apparently, I cannot interact with RivaTuner anymore for some reason. This is extremely weird. This never happened before. Oh man, this game is showing me new things, you know? I can't interact with this. Are you kidding me? Alright, I managed to do it. We're back to no FPS lock. And yeah, the stutters are instantly back. As you can see there, frame time now is pretty... Yeah, okay. It was smooth for a second there, but the stutters, the bigger ones, are back here. But yeah, thankfully it's an easy fix. You install RivaTuner, you lock your FPS. There's also a built-in FPS lock in the game, which I'm about to find out if it actually works. To fix the stuttering, that is. Let's set it to 30 frames per second here. And yeah, it's just as good as the RivaTuner statistics server FPS cap. Frame time is absolutely flat right there, so that's really nice to see, guys. All right. Oh, thank God. Thank God this game can be saved. The stuttering in this game can be saved. Holy crap. I was really, really disappointed at it, guys. And I mean, you saw the entire mission there was really terrible, right? It was unplayable in my opinion. I could still play the game, of course, but I wouldn't really recommend anyone to play the game with that amount of stuttering. It's just terrible. But hey, it actually ends up working here with the FPS lock. Also, you need to make sure that you lock your FPS to below your minimum frame rates. Otherwise, of course, it's like running with uncapped FPS. Like, for example, if I locked it to 60 FPS, it wouldn't really make much of a difference. It still stutters because we're not really reaching 60 FPS, so we're not reaching the FPS cap, and yeah, it's a stutter fest again. So you gotta make sure that your minimum FPS are above whatever FPS cap you set in this game. And since it actually does drop sometimes like the low 30s, I feel like for the RTX or GTX, god damn it, so many numbers and letters and so on. So many different GPUs that I test here that I mess things up sometimes. But yeah, for a GTX 1060 30 FPS lock with quality TAAU is the way to go. But let's check it out with the performance TAAU, which is what the game recommended in the first place for the GTX 1060, and it gets us very similar results. So instead of getting like 30s most of the time, I guess we get like 40s. But it can still drop into the 30s probably. It also looks surprisingly good for like 540p resolution or thereabouts. With performance upscaling at 1080p, it usually looks absolutely awful. But right now, yeah, it's a little tad bit softer, I guess. It has a little bit more pixelation than it did previously on quality, but it's very minor. It's still super acceptable in my opinion. But obviously, since the FPS dropped to like the low 40s, I think like 38 frames per second FPS lock is pretty adequate. And this will make the game a lot smoother than it was at 30 FPS. So I feel like I would choose to play at 38 instead of 30. You know, sometimes people just go for 30, 40, 50. 40 is a little bit too much for this, and it would probably go over 40 or go down from 40 sometimes, 1 or 2 FPS. And 38 is a little bit more consistent for a GTX 1060 here on performance upscaling. Yeah, this is not bad, guys. I'm now pretty impressed, actually. Like, I'm relieved as well that the game is not stuttering as much right now, or actually at all. Yeah, because now it's a very playable experience. It actually does look decent somewhat. It's not like amazing, obviously. Even on maximum graphics settings, this game isn't amazing in terms of visuals, you know, but at least it makes it so the game is playable on GTX 1060. Otherwise, it wouldn't be possible, right? Like, imagine if the game had forced ray tracing, for example, like many other games do, it would run pretty terribly. And even on like a 5090, it was able to get around 100 FPS at an 84K max settings. In other games that have forced ray tracing, it gets like 60. And in extreme scenarios, oh my, it gets like 30. Or not 30, but 40s. 40s is common, I guess, especially in Borderlands 4, you know? Anyway, guys, I think, oh my, that's a big Bob over here. We found Bob, that's awesome. I think most of you with GTX 1060 play games at 1080p resolution. This is not too far off from 1080p resolution, you know, in terms of the visuals. TAAU is doing a really good job once again, and I feel like enabling frame generation, for example, is a bad idea because your baseline FPS are pretty bad here with this GPU, of course. Oh man, come on, come on. We're doing this. Yeah, we did it. Goodbye, Bob. Good stuff. But yeah, the baseline FPS are not enough for an enjoyable frame generation experience in this one, in my opinion. So I wouldn't really utilize it here with GTX 1060. I can still try it, though. So you can use FSR frame generation here with this GPU. No XeSS FG. Target FPS. I'm just going to unlock it since we are playing with frame generation now. And it's good over here inside for 100 FPS, which actually feels really nice. Not gonna lie. Even in terms of input lag, since we have Nvidia Reflex enabled, it actually works really well. And we're not seeing any stuttering issues. That's something that I saw with the RTX 4060 as well. When I enabled DLSS FG, we got a bunch of stuttering issues, but FSR FG actually was giving us a flat frame time graph just like this one. So if you want to play with unlocked FPS, this is actually not too bad. I thought it was going to be a lot worse, guys. We're close to the city area. We need to go to a rooftop to take a look at the city from above, since that's where it drops the most. Yeah, this is quite good. So there's definitely an issue with the frame pacing in this game when you're not utilizing frame generation from AMD or locking your FPS. Because once you do that, once you enable these features, it is so buttery smooth. Oh man, no! Okay, whew, that was close. And also, guys, this is yet another one of those games where the input lag is not too terrible, and I think I would prefer this experience. You know, even though the FPS on average, the baseline FPS were really low, 40-ish, with a GTX 1060, I feel like enabling FSR FG does deliver a better experience than not utilizing FG. Like, this is really smooth right now. The pixelation seems to be improved a little bit with frame generation enabled because, you know, some of those little finer imperfections with pixelated edges and shimmering and so on, sometimes, because FG makes things ever so slightly softer, those are fixed. And right now, I think that's what I'm seeing here. I can still see some shimmering, but it's not as emphasized as it was without frame generation. So I think this is actually a good experience. I can't believe I'm saying this after being super disappointed in this video. This video is like a roller coaster, guys. You know? I can't believe this is working as well as it is. Because this goes against everything that I've seen so far in games. FSR with a baseline of 40 FPS usually is absolutely awful. In this one, it isn't. There are a couple of exceptions as well, like in Assassin's Creed Shadows, where it works really well, and also Borderlands 4. The input lag is not too bad. DLSS FG input lag, that is. The FSR FG input lag is really bad, actually, in Borderlands 4, with the low baseline of 40 FPS. But yeah, I mean, could I recommend this? I don't think you should spend as much on a game as your GPU costs, you know? But the experience is quite good here. If you don't mind playing with the very low graphics here, which look pretty bad, once again, like it's pretty flat and so on, But yeah, if you don't mind these graphics, if you don't mind the softness of TAAU on performance, which again does look better than even FSR quality in some other titles, so I'm also really impressed with that, this is a playable experience. It can be fun, it can be enjoyable, and it's buttery smooth. Next thing to do is try some FSR on performance as well. Yeah, that looks way worse. Like, look at this over here. The vegetation, if I do this, there's a ton of pixelation there. So TAAU is the way to go, guys. We're also getting very similar FPS. It's softer. TAAU is just amazing. What the hell did they do in this game? Wait, I want to keep FSR enabled. I want to see XeSS performance now. It should be better because FSR performance is a lower resolution than XeSS performance. Or maybe it's the other way around. Yeah, it's XeSS balanced is 50% resolution scaling, which is also the resolution scaling of FSR performance. So this is actually looking quite a bit worse right now. Very, very soft looking. So we need to use XeSS balanced to have 50% resolution scale here. And we're getting very similar FPS. What the hell are you, dude? Oh my god, you are a fat, ugly guy. XeSS is looking a bit softer than TAAU as well. So I'm not fine with this experience, but I was fine with TAAU. That is crazy, dude. I really did not expect this outcome from this video. Wow. Also, we're now using TAAU on quality plus FSR FG. Input lag is a little bit worse, but it's still manageable. So yeah, if you guys are seeing a lot of stuttering issues in your PCs, even if with different specs and so on, either lock your FPS or enable FSR FG for a very smooth experience, and you're gonna be fine. And with that said, thanks very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. What a positive outcome to end this with. I really did not see this coming. And yeah, I'm looking forward to testing more GPUs without stuttering issues now that we know how to fix them. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one. Love you all. Bye-bye.